What's up guys, welcome to this new GMS video. Today we are going to create a streetwear design tutorial. It's gonna be lit since it's a pretty complex design, but at the same time it's really fun to make. So I'm excited to show you how to design and how to create gradient maps and much more in today's video. Let's get started. Here we are in Photoshop, so here I'm just gonna say what I'm doing, and so I'm gonna even add some step-by-step guidelines that you will need to use if you want to create a graphic similar to this. So first step is basically to create a Photoshop file which will have as the main size the actual canvas of the t-shirt. Afterwards, just grab an image. I used an image on unsplash.com and add a gradient map over it, and here I'm just playing around with colors, so I advise you to do the same since each image is different, and so if you apply this gradient here that I'm using, it could be totally different on your image rather than mine. So after doing so, I added some rulers which helped me just center everything and making it look really cool. And afterwards, I've written my brand name on the right of the image. I decided to go with one part of my brand name since otherwise it wouldn't fit, which is global, in this wide font here, which suits really well all, let's say, the concept I had in mind for this design. Afterwards, I started working my way to the bottom by creating another sort of elements and text on the bottom part of the image, and then I will be developing it in this way here. So I will put a lot of elements in the bottom part of the image, and then those elements there will go straight down, and then on the right I will add another image basically on the right. So under the global main text I will add another image as the one that I added on top. I will do something similar, but I will choose another image, of course. So here I'm just messing around and just creating a concept around it, so I suggest you to do the same. So just play around with text and with meanings and with words just to create a really cool and interesting idea to visualize on a t-shirt. So I decided to go with two fonts. The first one is a really Y2K type of font. I already did a couple of videos with that font there, and which I really like it. And then the second font I decided to go with is called Monument Extended, and is a really cool font that complements more extroverted fonts. It's a font that goes well with any other font since it's simple, and I really like it. So I just decided to play around with text in this part of the design. And the idea I had for this graphic is to create a sort of space themed design. What I advise to do before creating a graphic is maybe just brainstorm some concepts you want to create a graphic about. So I don't mean like just drawing the actual design. I mean just brainstorming some words that will go really well on the design. Afterwards, what I did is that I added some elements, since now it starts the fun part where I just play around with elements. And these elements here, I got them from two places. The first one is my element pack, which is just available for me. It's a personal element pack which I can't share. Anyways, afterwards I will talk about the second element pack, which is made from a guy which I collaborated in the past with, so I will just share it later. But if you want to know more info, I suggest you to click the link in the description to see one of my videos where I collabed with this guy here. So just afterwards click on the video down below and just see what I'm talking about. And then afterwards, once I just played around with free globes, since my brand name is Global Mind Studios, and it plays around the idea with global, so globes, and even Global Mind Studios, they're free words, and so free globes make sense. Afterwards, I added 26 since it is day 26 of creating one graphic per day for 30 days. In fact, I'm creating a challenge where I design one t-shirt design per day for 30 days, even if the videos are just not one each day. I'm creating a graphic per day for 30 days. So even if these videos here drop once a week or once every 2 days or something like that, I'm actually creating one graphic per day for 30 days. So these are the elements that I was talking about earlier. So if you would like to know more about them, afterwards I suggest you to click the link in the description to another video that I made where I create a graphic using these elements here, and I just tell you about some of the ideas I had using this design and this element pack here, and even how can you get it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Here I'm just, as I said before, playing around with these elements here. If you don't have the budget, or if you don't know where to start to create your own element pack, I suggest you to just play around in Illustrator, or if you have only Photoshop, only in Photoshop with the shapes tools, since you can find and create a ton of different shapes for free just by using the Photoshop feature. I suggest you to just create your own rather than getting it from someone else. But if you have not much time, and if you don't know, and if you just want to get the easy path, I suggest you to get them because they're pretty fire and it's really easy. You just drag and drop them, and that's pretty much it for the elements wise perspective over this design here. So I will just continue adding other elements even afterwards in the bottom parts, since they're a really fun and easy way to just make and add some interesting vibes and interesting elements to the design. Afterwards, I got this other image from unsplash.com, and I really like to add this other image here in this specific position, because it just makes sense to add another image, and it let's say continues the type of vibe of the first line of this design, which basically is image text, and in this case is text image. So I really like it, and I added even another type of gradient map which is pretty similar to the first one. Since this image here is more big than I thought, I decided to add other text on the bottom just to complete and make it really tidy. I could have chosen even other two options. The first one was to actually add other elements, so other elements from the elements pack, but in my opinion it would have been too messy if you add too much of a thing. So I just decided to add the elements of the earth in just by writing the elements of the earth, so water, fire, earth, and air, and I really like them. To make the final touches, I decided to go with another image with a gradient on the bottom part of the elements, just to finish the design and make it really cool and aesthetic, and with a clean layout. Regarding the image, is a pretty easy image. It's just some bunch of sand for the dunes of the desert, plus for the color grading and for the gradient map that I added, I decided just to put a more purple color into it, since the image on the right doesn't have any purple, and so I wanted just to finish things off by adding some purple. To the right of that sand dune, I just added my brand name, again GMS Studios, plus 2 of my brand logos, and just the concept of this design, which is paranormal activity. And that's pretty much it. Now I added it on my mockup that you can find available on my website globalmindstudios.com/mockup. And that's pretty much it for this design. Here's the final result. See you next week with another tutorial of creating a graphic per day for 30 days. Bye bye.